Good morning. Welcome to Coffee with Tim. Here's me being frantic, trying to make the switch from Facebook Live to YouTube and hoping that everything is working correctly. I think it is. If you're just tuning in, my name is Tim Hague Sr. I'm a speaker, writer. I have Parkinson's disease and I am a PD Avenger. If you want to know what a PD Avenger is, you'll need to head over to pdavengers.com where you can learn all about a global alliance united in ending Parkinson's. Very excited about that. But welcome to Coffee with Tim and a conversation on Parkinson's and life. I'm excited to be with you here on YouTube. Hopefully you all find me okay. I have been directly on Facebook Live for a long time and now a little bit of a change to flip over here. And that is a good thing, I think. We'll see. If you like what you're hearing, hey Sydney, glad to see you found me. Did you find me on Facebook first, or did you come directly here? Curious question. But for everybody who eventually sees this, please give me a thumbs up if you like what you're hearing. Leave me something in the comments. Subscribe to my channel so that I know that we're doing the right things here. And yeah, we'll look forward to having a great conversation with you this morning. So most of you know that I was diagnosed with Parkinson's back in 2011. If you followed my story at all, you know that I was 46 years old. And what you may not know is that my neurologist, I was very fortunate to live here in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, and we have now 4 neurologists, movement disorder specialists, for a population of roughly some 6,000 people living with Parkinson's disease. So compared to lots of places in the world, that is a lot of movement disorder specialists. And we consider ourselves very blessed to have that many people here. So it didn't take me long to see a movement disorder specialist or an MDS soon after my diagnosis. Matter of fact, he diagnosed me. I saw my GP in October of 2010, and then he got me in to see the MDS in February of 11, and I was diagnosed almost immediately. So yeah, it didn't take me long in that regards. But when I was diagnosed, one of the first things that he said to me was, Tim, you're in as good a shape as you are with Parkinson's because you've been an athlete all your life. And you have to understand, folks, I ran, cycled, swam a little bit for years and years, still do. Don't swim much anymore. But when I was diagnosed, I was planning a sprint distance triathlon that next year. So yeah, I had been very active physically. And so as I had been researching Parkinson's between October of 2010 and then February of 2011, I started to become very fearful that my neurologist would tell me that I would have to stop exercising because I saw lots of things about falling, lots of things about gait instability, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I didn't hit on all the things that were being said about exercise just yet. So when I saw Dr. Boris, and he started walking me through things a bit, one of the first things he said was, if I could do one thing, Tim, I would make every one of my patients an athlete. I was like, what? What the heck? He said, if there's any one thing you can do for yourself beyond your medication, it's exercise. So take whatever you're doing and do way more of it. Do as much as you want. Do as much as your body will allow you to do. So let me tell you, I was thrilled. I walked out of his office that day with one bit of information that just amazed me, and I was thrilled. So I go home thinking that, okay, if my neurologist, if my movement disorder specialist says that this is this big a deal, that all of us with Parkinson's disease should be exercising and that he would turn all of his patients into athletes if he could, well, there must be some kick-ass groups out there waiting for me to get involved, right? There must be things going on that I can get involved with to take care of myself and live my best with this disease. And I went from absolute joy to absolute frustration as I began to research and find website after website after website that deals with Parkinson's, that talks about the benefits of exercise. Everybody talks about the benefits of exercise. I'm not going to name names, but you go to any major player in the Parkinson's community, and you will find on their websites the fact that we need to be exercising. You will have research study after research study thrown at you. You will have motivational speaker after motivational speaker tell you that you need to be exercising. But the one key ingredient that is missing, that virtually no one, and yes, this is a pet peeve of mine, virtually no one is offering you the resources or the services that you need to exercise. Good morning, Dorothy. I see people are finally finding me. Yes, it will take a little bit. I'll put this over on Facebook so everyone else finds me, but spread the good word that we're here on YouTube. But what I was saying there was that no one upon no one, or very, very few, are actually offering the resources, the services, the physical spaces that we need to do the exercise that we need to do. And what happens with people with Parkinson's? What do you see often? Apathy. Some days it takes moving the moon to get me off the couch, to get into a gym. And then you throw into that the fact that we are often embarrassed, very insecure about this disease, how it makes us look, how it makes us present, how we feel people are thinking about us when we're out in public. And so then we're told that we're just supposed to go to the gym. We're supposed to go somewhere. We've never exercised in our lives, a lot of us. We haven't darkened the door of a gym since high school, a lot of us. And now I'm supposed to go to the gym when I shake and I shudder and I stumble and I'm having all these other difficulties with Parkinson's. And there's not a single place that I could find, and there was nothing anywhere within hundreds of miles of me here in Winnipeg, Canada, that offered me an opportunity to go and work out with people who felt like me, who looked like me, who was struggling with Parkinson's the way that I was struggling with Parkinson's. And I was ticked off. I spent a lot of months being absolutely angry that there was nothing available, especially in light of all the documentation, all of the stuff that was being said about exercise and wellness, and yet nothing was being done. So, being a nurse of 20 years, being a little entrepreneur, or so I've always thought, I struck out and started U-Turn Parkinson's. I decided if nobody else is going to do it, I'm going to do it. If nobody else is going to offer it, I'll figure out a way to offer it. And well, off we went. We struck a board. I got some friends together. We started a charity. And this isn't for the faint of heart, and I'm not suggesting that everybody needs to go do this. I'm just telling you what I did, for good or ill. And we'll come around to some of the ill here in a little bit. But for good or ill, I dove into it and I said, this is what I'm going to do. Found some friends who would back me on a board. We started raising some money, started talking to people, and we started with a rock steady boxing class. And we had a dozen people before you knew it. Before long, after a couple of years, we were up to 75 people in class, and we were just smoking along. Now, I want to interject here some of the ill before we get too far into this conversation, and the fact is, I still believe that I'm the wrong guy to be doing this. And some of you will say, well, that doesn't sound like a very positive entrepreneur. That doesn't sound like a very positive guy with Parkinson's. But I'll say it again, I am convinced that I'm still the wrong guy to be leading this. Because how many successful organizations do you see being run day to day by the person with Parkinson's? Yet that is still our case here at U-Turn Parkinson's. I simply don't have the snap in life that I need to have anymore. I don't have the ability to manage all the details that need to be managed every day. I can hear some of you sitting there saying, well, Tim, you look great. Well, sure. You know what I've done this morning? I got up, I ate, answered a few emails. I have prepped for this. I have taken my medication so that I'm not absolutely shaky and chaotic right now. And this is the first substantial thing I've done of my day. So here we are. But now let's get to the afternoon where Tim needs an hour nap, can't think straight, isn't walking straight, and can't manage his job as a nurse, let alone a full-time management job of a charity that needs 100% of his mind and body to run it well. I am not the best candidate to be the manager of this wellness center. That said, I still am. And happy to be there and happy to be doing it. and happy to have the opportunity to see dozens and dozens of people every month impacted by the work that we're doing here at U-Turn Parkinson's. I'm thrilled by the 2 staff members that we have that lead our classes, that take on so much of the responsibility for me that I don't have to do. I am so thrilled by the coaches, trainers that we have, the yoga instructors that we have that take on tons and tons of work that give us the quality programming that we need for people living with Parkinson's here in Winnipeg, Manitoba, and now via YouTube and Zoom around the world. They make my life so much easier so that I can focus on what I need to focus on and not having to do all the nitty-gritty details. Have a great bookkeeper, my wife, who takes care of all of the back-end stuff, which still frees me up then to be able to speak a little bit and do the other things within the charity that needs to be done. So all of that is the lead up to what is U-Turn Parkinson's. Why are we doing what we're doing? That's a bit of the why we're doing what we're doing. What are we doing? Well, we started off, like I said, with Rocksteady Boxing. And people often ask me, well, why'd you start with boxing? And I simply say, because it's sexy. That's right, because it's sexy. If people were into barrel racing with horses, if they were into jump roping contests, I would do whatever it took to meet the needs of what people where they're at. And what people wanted to do, they wanted to box. So we started a boxing program. We went and got certified through Rocksteady Boxing, kicked it off, and it has just gone gangbusters. It continues to be our premier program that we run. It attracts the most people, and it is loads and loads of fun. If you've never been involved in Rocksteady Boxing, you need to get involved in Rocksteady Boxing because it is very good for you as a person. Thank you, Jamie Shepard. Hi, Tim. I agree with you about the exercise. I just started RSP with Chad. Oh, out of Dopa Fit in Massachusetts. Boston, are you guys? I think it's Boston. But excellent. Glad to hear. That's an excellent program. It's very, very good. All the boxing moves get you opened up. Long, big, wide amplitude, big movements. That's exactly what we need. We went from Rocksteady Boxing. We started a yoga program, which is very hard to get people to come out to. But I will tell you again my secret. If you're listening, I'll tell you Tim's #1 secret to living well with Parkinson's disease. You listening? I don't want you to tell anybody else because they're going to think you're nuts. But if Tim had to give up everything that he does in taking care of himself with Parkinson's disease and only keep one thing, he would keep his stretch and strength, his yoga. Because I get the strength from it, I get core stability from it, I get muscle tone from it, I get balance from it, I move better, I walk better, my arms swing better, I actually think better, and I'm convinced that's just from the quiet, the calmness, the stillness in that time. I see far better results out of my stretch and strength than I see out of just about anything else. And now this is for a guy who loves to run. I love to cycle. I love the sweat. I love to be in the gym and go hard. But it's my stretch and strength, my yoga, that makes the biggest difference in my life. So there's your secret for the day. Don't tell anybody else. They'll think you're nuts. I've been preaching this for 10 years, and I've yet to have a massive following come behind me. So that'll just be yours for the day. So we did yoga. Then we've got a speech language program. We have a speech language pathologist, Allison Baird, who is with Hello Speechworks, who we have partnered with, and she provides us Loud Crowd and Speak Out through Parkinson's Voice Project from down in Dallas, Texas. We also have our music therapist who is on staff, Hatha Forsyth. She's our program manager. She runs our U-Tunes music group that meets once a week, and we sing. And singing has proven to be one of the best things for my voice. It keeps my voice strong, supple, working. I stutter less. I find an all-around better speaking voice because I attend U-Tunes every week. And while we were gone over COVID, was absolutely murder because, man, oh man, I was not using my voice nearly as much. I was allowing myself to get down into that guttural I should be projecting out over the fence, as they say, and using my voice. So what else? We do some cycling now. We will go pretty much every Saturday. We head out with a group of folks and I'll end up doing 30 to 40 kilometers. The group will do about 10 kilometers together. That's about 6 miles. We go about an hour together. So it's not a hard and fast ride, but just a get out and cycle ride. We also do support groups from time to time. It's not an ongoing, but we'll do support groups from time to time. We will also do, what am I missing? I should have my website open is what I should be doing. But those are the highlights. And, oh, of course, good grief, our online programming, which is very important, which we've started over COVID and now are continuing. We do YouTube classes that you can find on our website. Our website is uturnparkinsons.org or uturn, U-T-U-R-N, pd.org. You go there, you'll find our YouTube channel listed there with upper body chair workouts, full body chair workouts, lower body chair workouts, and we are growing our YouTube channel because that has become a very important part of what we are doing. We're finding people from all over Canada, all over the world tuning into that to get the exercise that they need. And then every Wednesday, we have an online class through Zoom that meets the need of a wide range of people. So very exciting, very, very, very good things that are going on at U-Turn Parkinson's. And what else can I tell you about here? I don't want to miss anything. We've talked about balance and strength. We've talked about rock steady. We've talked about yoga. We've talked about speech therapy. We've talked about cycling. We've talked about our support groups. So what can you do? What can you do in your community? Because it's not everybody doesn't have this. I've traveling across North America and speaking to various groups, I've had the opportunity to find that this is rare, that so few communities have this opportunity. So what can you do in your community? Well, you could go start your own thing. I'm not going to suggest that. I'm not going to encourage that. If you're living with Parkinson's disease, what you need to find is that benefactor, that person who is as passionate about the disease as you are, who doesn't have the disease, who will start it for you, and that you can work alongside with. And that still is going to be a massive undertaking. Starting a charity is a huge undertaking. Raising funds is a huge undertaking. All of it is a massive undertaking. Is it worthwhile? You bet it is. May it be the right thing for you? Maybe. Maybe. And if you wanted to talk to me about that, you can reach out to me at tim@uturnpd.org, and I'd love to talk to you. Reach out to me here, leave me a message. We can connect, and I'd love to talk to you about it. But I will probably try to talk you out of it. And especially if you're living with Parkinson's, and say you need to find somebody who doesn't have Parkinson's to do it for you. And the first place to start there is with your local Parkinson's organization. I believe that we, as people living with Parkinson's, need to be talking to our organizations more. We need to be telling them what we need. And the one thing that we need beyond our medication that all of them will tell you is exercise. And we need to be asking them, why aren't you providing exercise? We have enough webinars to choke on, folks. In North America, we have enough information to choke on. What we need are resources, are places, gyms, wellness centers where we can go to live well with this disease. We've all heard it, we believe it, we've bought it. Show us where we can go. Show us how to do it. Lead the way. That's where I would encourage you to start. And then maybe you start even smaller, is that you start with a group of like-minded individuals. You find yourself a church gym, a community center that you can work out together for free. Maybe you simply start a cycling group that every Saturday you get together and you go for a 5K spin, a 20K spin, whatever it is. Maybe you get together with a group of buddies and you start running together. It can be very simple. It can be very small. But I am absolutely on the stump that this cannot be just the initiative of the person living with Parkinson's. We do not have the juice to get this done on our own. Do we want to believe that we can? You bet. Am I doing it? Yes. Is it difficult? Yes. We need leadership from the Parkinson's community that doesn't have Parkinson's to lead this. And I need you to help me spread that word to them. Kindly, with patience, but with passion, so that they understand what we as people with Parkinson's need. And this is what we need. All right. I think that's enough of that for today. I have been wanting to share this with you for some time. I have shared it in bits and pieces along the way. But here's what I want to leave you with. Go to uturnparkinsonspd.org. uturnpd.org. Have a look at what we're doing there. There are things that no matter where you live, you can probably get involved with, whether that be a Zoom class or a YouTube class. There are things like Coffee with Tim that you can continue to take in. There may be ideas there that will help you where you live in having a discussion with the folks in your community about how you can start a wellness center where you live. Tune in there. I want to send you back to 2 other places. I always want to make sure I mention PD Avengers. Very important that if you're not a PD Avenger yet, that you go have a look at pdavengers.com. We are a global alliance, unified in ending Parkinson's. Hugely important that you go have a look there. And then I want you to check out Larry Gifford's podcast, When Life Gives You Parkinson's. Fantastic podcast. Great information there for you, encouraging, uplifting. Tune in to Larry. I forget how often he's on, but his new... Sorry, you see, I get excited. The old voice isn't quite what it used to be. Start running out of air, don't breathe quite right, and Parky throws a wrench and everything. But Larry's got he's into season 3. His first one just came out, I believe it was a week ago Wednesday. I'm really behind. I haven't listened to it yet, so don't tell him that, okay? But he's had huge success with it. I want to encourage you to go over and have a listen, tune into him. And as always, Lord willing, I will be back here next Friday on YouTube. So until then, persevere. Live your best. Don't give in to this thing called Parkinson's. We can do this. And we can live better. We can live well. And we can help those in our communities to do the same. So until next Friday, take care of yourselves. And I'll see you then. Bye-bye.